When my husband and I go out to eat, I usually have food
We are
left
robots.
we get oil. Usually, I have food left over, and I take it home with me. I will either eat it for dinner or for lunch the next day. Okay, if there's any left. There's a lot of detail in here that I probably could presuppose, but let's continue. My husband always finishes his meal and will partake of my leftovers at home if it's food he likes.
Did you say ex-husband?
This irritates me, but he thinks there is no problem. Bros, how should I handle this issue? That's from Sometimes Starved in California.
It is the only thing. It is the only non-Mikasa Sukasa thing that happens when you get married. They should start fucking penciling this in to the vows of every single, like, you know, that, like, the placeholder vows for people who are too lazy to write their own.
Right.
Like, that should be in there, like, for sickness and poor, sickness and health. If I'm sick or poor, you gotta stick with it. Everything that's mine is yours, except for my goddamn leftovers that I brought home from Chili's last night.
I have found that I don't do leftovers, really. I don't enjoy leftovers.
Really?
I very rarely
I
think
order food extra to
That's
have
the
leftovers.
Travis McElroy special.
That's called doubles, and my wife won't let me do it anymore. So I can't do that. I can only have half eaten. I try to explain to her that if I have an untouched meal in the fridge, that's cool. But if it's like half eaten and I have like my gross yesterday bites where my mouth was yesterday, I can't.
Hold up. You're saying if your mouth has already, hold on, because the implications of this are enormous. You're saying if your mouth has touched a food item before, you are no longer interested in putting your mouth on it again. You're a self-germaphobe. Do you just like order 10 burgers when you go to Chili's every day and you take a bite of each one and then throw the rest away?
Day to day is basically like a Natasha Bedingfield song. I'm evolving, changing, feeling the rain on my skin, growing. That person I was yesterday has nothing to do with the new, more enlightened Justin you find this current day. I don't know what that guy was into. I don't know. Maybe he liked more pepper than I do. I have no way of knowing. And it looks sloppy. You look at it.
It does. It never looks great.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It never looks the way it used to. If you just put it direct in the fridge because you got doubles, though, then it's fine because it looks like a fresh meal that you're just heating up. That's fine. That's fine. Now, sometimes what I will do is I'll eat half. Like if it's something that has an exact half, let's say a sandwich. Okay. If a sandwich or perhaps a pizza that has an exact half that doesn't have sloppy bites out of it, then that is fine because that is like, oh, I guess I only wanted half of this yesterday, but I haven't touched this, so it is now a whole. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is a whole. It was at one time a half, but it could pass as a whole. So now I can reheat my leftovers.
I actually have a similar thing. I always catch myself, because I love leftovers, but like if I go to a place and get we've discussed before that fries are so bad the next day, but like doing a burger and fries, I will fill up my box with all the other stuff on the plate that I know I'm not going to eat. And then there will just be like a styrofoam coffin in our fridge for like weeks.
I saw a crazy way of reheating fries that apparently is the best. You throw them all in a waffle iron and close it. And it
what the
turns
fuck
into
is that
one
gonna
giant waffle fry that is crisp and delicious. That's what
not
I hear.
really how waffle iron works. You can't really just throw a fucking tennis ball in there. No, it's a waffle ball. It has to be a very specific type of shit.
Folded in half piece of pizza, and then you waffle iron it, and it apparently is like waffleizza, and it's delicious. That's what I hear.
It's not waffleizza. It's burned pizza with squares on it. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. You broke that pizza.
I'm happy when my wife eats my leftovers because more important to me than eating my leftovers is fridge space, which is always at a premium, especially once we start to eat vegetables, which are like the pushy layabouts of the fridge world.
They're awkward corner, uneven, doesn't lay flat, nothing stacks on top of broccoli.
Not really coming out that often, not as often as like the pizza sauce or the mustard. They're just kind of like in there showing off. Look at me, you have celery in your refrigerator.
How exotic.
How exotic. What a big healthy boy. Is that a mango I spy?
If Huntington's only vegan stops by, he'll be so impressed.
Can you get food that your husband doesn't like? poison.
It's just you shouldn't have to. This is crazy. If I did this to Rachel, she wouldn't leave me, but she would punch out a number in a card that if it fills up 10 times, then she'll leave me. I get 10. I get 10 every time I eat one of Rachel's leftovers. I have to keep in mind, like, what am I at? 6? Is this worth it? Yeah,
It is.
it is.
I do want the rest of that Jack Daniel's Bourbon Street steak.
Yeah, I will take that because we only eat at Applebee's. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sometimes you eat at Applebee's.
I haven't eaten at. I don't think
non-Applebe's.
Regardless of what Friday Night Lights will try and tell you, I have not seen a single Applebee's here in Austin, Texas.
Teresa and I do this. We eat each other's leftovers, but it always goes like this. Hey, are you really gonna eat this? No, I'm not. Go for it. Because like we'll both take home stuff so as not to feel wasteful, even if we didn't enjoy the meal, even if it wasn't our jam, and then the other person eats it.
I'm shocked to hear that, Justin, you're not in on this game, because as people who work from home, for an hour out of your day, your lunch hour, you get a brief respite from being inside your house, and instead you're whisked away to a private Chili's booth in the courtesy of your own living room, where you can watch last night's Game of Thrones and eat half a quesadilla. Like, that's my goddamn jam. Oh, you mean for one day I don't have to eat a white garlic chicken pizza Hot Pocket and I can pretend that I'm at Chili's again? Whoosh! Hop on my flying carpet that's also half a quesadilla. And come with me to a private Game of Thrones booth. You get to play restaurant.
No, you don't. You get to play Chili's. It's a very different experience. I like to play Logan's Roadhouse because then I can throw peanut shells everywhere.
Yeah.
And that is really luxurious.
I would love to see your floor covered with peanut shells while your cats walk around distastefully. Like,
Oh, they would not enjoy. Ugh.